Tesla, right? Entrepreneurial, futuristic looking. Will it be the death knell of other cars? What did you expect?
I don't know what I expected, but this wasn't it. I expected to be impressed, but I didn't expect to be astounded, and I'm astounded. I think this would be the death of other cars.
Seriously, Alan, the thing about it is, it's not just futuristic and trendy, it's actually practical, and it goes like the clappers.
It is futuristic and trendy, yeah, you're absolutely right. 2.4 seconds, as I said before, to 100 kilometers an hour that's hypercar. And to get that performance anywhere else, you're going to have to pay $1 million or more. I've got the bag and the key is actually inside the car as we speak. Normally what would happen is you come up to the car, the mirrors fold out and the doors come out, but since the bag's inside, you just press that and the handles come out. So I can now get my hand inside. It's a 5-door, meaning that it's an execu hatch, as I call it.
Okay.
Like the old Rover SD1 of the late 70s.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Very nice car. This one leaves that for dead. It looks smart. What do you think?
The design of it, I love this line of the windows.
Yeah.
This line here is, to my mind, extremely
And did you notice there's a camera here?
Yeah, what does that do?
It photographs things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one of those cameras.
It's a camera. There's also cameras elsewhere around the car that constantly monitor where the car actually is and who's around the car. It's also what does the blind spot monitoring, and there's not little icons in the mirrors like there is with most other cars. It's all on that screen inside.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we go along,
Yeah.
because I think there's a huge issue there about being confident in knowing that the car is actually doing things
Sure.
around it. It's actually seeing what's happening. It doesn't give you a picture, it gives you a schematic of it.
It does.
But it says, there's lines on the road. I can see that.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't really trust it as yet. Now, they don't give the press cars autopilot, probably for the best, nor does it have smart cruise control.
Oh, okay.
Both of those, and nor does it have automatic wipers. All of those things will come in an upgrade. The smart wipers are coming in due course. But when this car goes off the press fleet and is sold, they'll simply flash the firmware and it'll all of a sudden have autopilot. So it'll be able to actually drive itself. The ladies that we saw yesterday at the Tesla showroom tell us that you can just send this off to find, not necessarily in Australia, but in other places, that you can send this car off and it'll find itself a parking spot and park there. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that ultimately comes for a great benefit in a number of reasons, not the least of which is you don't have to fight your way out of the car when you park it. So we might be able to have narrower parking spots.
But if it all goes horribly wrong, you won't know where your car is. That's right. So, inside, these doors open very wide.
You don't like this bit here, do you?
No, well, of course, I'll open this up, but this much of the door is just metal. There's nothing behind it. And you can see here that it's just folding over. Now, if you're in a confined space, like in a tight garage or whatever, there's an extra 10 centimetres or 8 centimetres of door that doesn't need to be there. It can just be cut quite down. So it's just for a design line down the outside of the car.
But if it parks itself, you won't have to get out.
I don't want it to bloody park itself. Oh, voila. You and buttons just should never be seen.
No,
There's the back, look at that. Now in the back you'll notice I have my electric bike.
Folded up, but plenty of room.
Yep.
I also like the interior, the design.
Well, why don't you have a seat inside? Have a sit inside.
You mean in the back?
Yeah, well, anywhere you like, so long as you're inside.
Well, you know me, I like
I'm gonna
show it around.
Now, we have frameless windows. That glass area is quite small. Put that down, and I'll close the door. There's no motorised doors here. This is all push and shut yourself. What do you think?
You see, this shape of the seat is very futuristic.
It is elegant, isn't it? It is elegant.
You look at driving an Audi the other day, and it looked old-fashioned, and maybe it was wanted to be that elegant. This looks modern.
Well, of course, they use these cars for executive transport to and from airport. So perhaps it might be that in that mode you'd have the seat forward a little bit more, you'd have a little bit more space in the back. Do you think?
Well, the knee room's not bad. It's the support under your thighs. Yeah. It's a little bit short, and the floor is a bit like the old four-wheel drive with a high the clearance. You know, that it makes you sit up with your knees around your ears. They're very much cheaper. This top of the range P100D, I think they sell for about $265, and you don't have to add any on-road costs to that. Wow, isn't that fantastic? Yeah, it's still a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But look, you do get an executive 5-door sedan. You know, what else are you going to buy for 300 grand? Get you from 0 to 100 in 2.4 seconds. Has how many litres per 100 kilometres does this do? Oh, that's right, none. And if, as I said, you bought an early one, then you get all of your charging for the life of your car free, so long as you go to a Tesla Charger.
And this one you're saying $35 or so to fill up?
$35 to fill up at a Supercharger. But now that's a 500 kilometre charge-ish, 500 to 600 kilometre charge. It won't charge fully because the regeneration may overcharge the battery. I think that'd be smart enough to know that. But I like it. I like the fact that you've got options, and I like the fact that this is getting to the stage now where you could do a Sydney to Melbourne run. You could theoretically do it, and some of our colleagues have done Sydney to Melbourne runs in it. But they had range anxiety the whole way. Yeah. So when you get into the car, this is what you're faced with. Sometimes the map is the full height of the screen. Up the top here is the normal control. So this is your sat-nav screen, this is your function screen, this is your air conditioning along the bottom. If you want to go to car controls, you simply hit the controls button, and up here you'll notice you've got sport, you've got sport and ludicrous to give you max battery power. Range mode, I don't know what that means. Regenerative braking is standard. Creep, move slowly forward, then brake when the pedal is released. And these are your comfort settings for steering and suspension. In the car, there's no key to this car. There's no start button, there's no nothing. There's no buttons, period, except for the glove box and the hazard flashes. There's a couple of buttons on the steering wheel and the windows, but that's it. So in order to start the car, you just get in, put your foot on the brake, put it in gear with the gear lever over here. We're now ready to go. You can see down here that it's in ludicrous mode. So I'm just going to pull out.
That's it, but the actual settings in comfort too.
Yeah, so
I can accelerate hard, but I can not necessarily be so firm as to be uncomfortable.
Correct. So that's this suspension and steering and so forth. So what I'm going to do is indicate, and I'm going to give it some beans.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think I can cope.
I'm not sure you can. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh, but that is unreal.
It is unreal.
I felt that I was immediately in another place.
This car will go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.4 seconds. 2.4 seconds.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
So we're talking Veyron territory. This car's $300,000 and it's all-wheel drive. It's got 2 engines, one in the front, one in the back, and batteries right along the underfloor.
The thing about it is that makes it so unreal. It was almost like you were instantly on a roller coaster. A roller coaster, you don't think so much about acceleration.
Yeah.
You just think about whoosh.
We don't think about acceleration until you're actually accelerating. But have you been on that ride at Dreamworld, the railgun ride?
No.
It fires you out. That has the same acceleration as this. 2.4 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour. I think I can't think of a time when you would want to do that. So you can hear how quiet this is now. I've got the air conditioning on. First, there's a few facts. I did about 200 kilometres yesterday, and the charge went down pretty quickly. I stopped at Tesla, where you came to meet me, and put it on the fast charger. There's 3 modes of charging. There's the one you use at home, just with your normal trickle charge, and that will give you a couple hundred kilometres overnight-ish, give or take.
20 or 30 kilometres per hour?
Of charge, that's right.
Yeah, it might be as low as that. Yeah,
that's right. Now, they've got what they call destination charging, which is the next level up, and that's 3-phase. I do understand you can have that put in at home if you have 3-phase available. The destination charge will give you 81 kilometres per hour of charge. Then there's the Tesla Supercharger, 240 amp thing, and it looks like a petrol bowser. It looks like a really thin petrol bowser. Now, those are the ones that we saw yesterday at Tesla, and they're all over the place. They will do 500 kilometres of charging per hour. 500 kilometres per hour. So this, when we left Tesla yesterday, had 610 kilometres worth of charge, and because you've been driving in ludicrous mode, it's very careless of you. I really wish you wouldn't drive in careless.
It's all my fault.
In ludicrous mode. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. We're now down to 475. So what it's trying to I suppose get into the marketplace is the fact that electric cars are better for the environment, and they're better for the environment because the CO2 from a 500 or 600 kilometre charge is less than the CO2 from a fossil fuel trip of the same length.